What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
And today we're going to be reacting to Dave Chappelle. How old is 15 really? So, any ideas of what it's going to be about?
Probably something that has to do with like consent.
Probably. How old is 15 really?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's begin. Dave
See.
Chappelle.
R. Kelly pissed on his victim. I know, it was rough.
Remember the R. Kelly thing that happened a few years ago? Okay, so that's, I guess what it's going to be talking about, I guess. Let's start over.
R. Kelly pissed on his victim. I know, it was rough. But I mean, again, I can't even judge R. Kelly. First of all, we don't know if these allegations are true or not, and even if they are true, if you want to know how I feel about it honestly, if a man cannot pee on his fans, I don't want to be in show business anymore because, well, that's why I got in the game, baby. I got dreams too. You guys are confusing the issue. While you guys are busy worrying about if R. Kelly even peed on this girl or not, you're not asking yourself the real question that America needs to decide once and for all. And that question is, how old is 15 really? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not saying that a person is as smart as they're going to be at 15. That's not what I'm saying, man. But I am saying 15 to me is old enough to decide whether or not you want to be pissed on. I mean, that's me. If you can't make a decision like that by the time you're 15, then just give up, motherfucker, because life is way harder than that.
Just give
You
up.
make tougher decisions all the time. If you don't want to get pissed on, just get the fuck out of the way. It's not even a decision. If I stop peeing on the front row, they're not going to have to calculate and think, oh, how do I feel about this? Am I okay with it? They just move. You can do that at 15. I could have. I've been 15. When I was 15, I was doing stand-up in nightclubs and smoked reefer from time to time. Friends were selling crack. I was trying to finger fuck people. I knew what was happening around me to some degree. Getting pissed on was the least of my worries at 15. Trust me. But it keeps coming up. There's a lot of confusion around that age. Anytime 15 comes up, people freak out. Like when that girl, Elizabeth Smart, got kidnapped. Right? Remember in Utah last year, 15-year-old girl Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped, and then they finally found her, and the whole country was relieved. And I was the only one saying, damn, she wasn't that smart after all. Not because she got kidnapped. That could happen to anybody. I'm not knocking her for that. I'm just saying, if you kidnapped me when I was 15, you got to take me further than 8 miles away from my house, man. God damn. Can't hold me prisoner around shit I recognize. I'll break away. I'll break away. Fuck off me, nigga. That's my bus stop. I know where I'm at. I'm going home. She was missing for 6 months, 8 miles away from my house. That's 2 exits, man. That's nothing. And while she was missing, during this half a year that this girl is missing, there's a 7-year-old black girl gets kidnapped in Philadelphia.
Wait, so for half a year she was missing?
This is 6 months.
Damn, was
That's half
that
a year.
long? 8 miles from the
And
house?
it was like 2 exits away. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, damn. I know it was. I haven't even heard about this, so
I'm
I'm not
shocked.
really sure.
And there was a white girl?
I don't
Shocked
know.
it took them
I
that
don't know.
long.
And while she was missing, during this half a year that this girl is missing, there's a 7-year-old black girl gets kidnapped in Philadelphia. Nobody knows her name. They might have talked about her 2 or 3 times on the news, but she should have been the top story.
Same thing.
Because she chewed through the ropes and had both of these motherfuckers in jail in 45 minutes flat. 7 years old. I'm not making this up.
You know, he talked about how that should be in the news, how they don't really care. You know how people was talking about how they don't really care about, you know, when a black person goes missing, you don't hear about it.
Yeah, like the
white
Bill
person-
Burr thing
Exactly.
that we just did.
A white
Are you
person
gonna
goes
see
missing
this
is
face
on
on the
the
milk
news.
cart? No, the Patrice O'Neal. You gonna see this face on the milk
Patrice
cart?
O'Neal, yeah.
Or
that's
that
my
face on
favorite.
the milk
Yeah,
cart?
Patrice O'Neal, yeah.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
I guess it's what he's saying.
She chewed through the ropes and had both of these motherfuckers in jail in 45 minutes flat. 7 years old. I'm not making this up. These 2 crackheads kidnapped her and took her back to the crack house and tied her up. And then they left her. They're crackheads. They gotta make moves. Crack, smoke, chocolate to eat. These motherfuckers made moves. They was out. But as soon as they left, this little girl got the nib on. She was kidnapped at 4 o'clock and at home watching herself on the news at 5:30. That shit is crazy. That's a news story. That is a news story. Now, meanwhile, in Utah, 15-year-old Elizabeth Smart's captors left her alone, too. And they didn't even tie her up because they're hillbillies. They just bounced. Don't try to escape, bitch, or we'll kill you. Be right back. They leave. And she's 15, sitting in the house by herself. How am I going to get out of this? Come on, Elizabeth, think, Elizabeth, how am I going to get out of here?
Oh, my God.
Why don't you just open the fucking door and go outside? Have you thought about that? Do you have a quarter? Do you know your phone number? You're 15, bitch, run. Stop thinking and stop making moves. I know I sound mean, and I know what the people are thinking when I'm saying this. Dave, she is only 15. All right, but that's the discrepancy, because when you talk about a little girl like Elizabeth Smart, then the country feels like 15 is so young and so innocent. On the flip side, here comes 15 again. Now we're talking about a 15-year-old black kid in Florida. This black kid accidentally killed his neighbor when he's practicing wrestling moves that he saw on TV. Now, was he a kid? No. They gave him life. They always try our 15-year-olds as adults. This nigger knew what he was doing. It's a goddamn pile driver. This kid gets on the ropes, there's no stopping him. You'd have to send the Rock to arrest him. And they gave a 15-year-old boy life in jail. If you think that it's okay to give him life in jail, then it should be legal to pee on him. That's all I'm saying. You gotta make up your mind across the board how old 15 actually is. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if somebody comes in here and puts a gun in my head and says, Chappelle, you got a choice to make. You're either going to jail for a month or we'll let you go, but you gotta let R. Kelly pee on you. I'm not hesitating. Bring in R. Kelly and tell him to stay away from my ass. I'd rather get pissed on the outside than fucking the butt on the inside, son. I can't go to jail with some smooth Botox balls and think everything's gonna be all right. It's not that kind of place. Take my chance with that piss. Piss will wash off with a 10-minute shower, I'm certain of it. This piss coming right out. What can I do? They're gonna put me in jail.
That was good.
Dave Chappelle. Obviously, this one is like a older
Yeah,
comedy.
you can tell by the footage.
By the quality of the thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard about the girls getting missing or not.
Yeah, I don't really
Whatever.
know. But it's funny because it's true. Like, you now heard it from Patrice O'Neal if you watched our other video.
Yeah,
And you're now hearing it again from Dave Chappelle. The difference between not just age, but by race of how people are being treated.
It's like, it's not really, it's not, what was the word I'm looking for? I forgot what I'm looking for. But how, how, you can try a 15-year-old, as an adult,
Depending on the crime, yeah.
Exactly. But then certain things a 15-year-old can decide by themselves. It's like,
Exactly.
it doesn't it doesn't make sense, Like they're old enough to get tried as an adult, but but
they're still
not,
like a baby in certain
yeah, I'm not
aspects.
really a lawyer, so I can't really say blah blah. But that's what I think right now without any research or like.
I agree with
I know
what he
certain
says.
crimes-
If you're gonna do it one way, then you have to do it across the board.
But
Like-
there's life is full of those inconsistencies. What I'm looking for,
Yeah.
inconsistent. Like, for example, like the consent age here is different than it is in other countries. It's different in different states. Depending on what state
Yeah.
you go to, the consent age is different.
Yeah.
I think in like some places in Europe, it's like 16. I think the
For
age
what?
of consent. The age of consent for kids is 15.
For what? For cigarettes?
No, for like sexual, for sex, for
It's
cigarette.
18.
Yeah, not in certain countries.
Oh, I
In
thought you
certain
said
states.
New York.
No, not New York. In certain countries, it's like 16. In certain states, it's like
16. I know in Spain and France it's 16.
Exactly, and even like drinking their shoe, it's like lower in certain countries. So like age differences, it doesn't really have like a hard like at this age you know this or you don't know that. It depends on the government. So what he said is how old is 15
it
really?
It also depends on the person. Like how smart are you? Like
exactly.
The 15-year-old girl that was left alone in the house couldn't even open up the front door.
Yeah, so I guess governments come up with like an age for some things, but you don't really know how what age certain things should be allowed, But yeah, he made a good point. Like you can decide if you should get peanut or not when you're 15.
I think anybody would know how to move.
Because 15-year-olds, bro, they're not innocent. They're not innocent.
No.
I mean,
I
guess
think your 15-year-old is innocent. You're in a dream.
I guess you can make an argument for like certain things like the brain's not fully developed, and you have a case for that. Like maybe adults can take advantage of younger kids. If you're an adult, you have more experience, you're smarter.
I think it depends on
it's
the
you can make a case for it. I'm not saying
it depends on the kid.
Exactly. So I'm not saying
certain kids are like, no offense, certain kids are smarter or street smarter at least than others. They think quick and they do more than they sit there and like conjure a plan.
So I'm not saying in a broader sense, they should get it treated equally, but we really don't know like the differences.
I just think like it should like if you're gonna be able to try somebody at 15. This 15-year-old you're gonna try and send to jail, but this 15-year-old you're gonna be like, oh, they were just a child though. Like that to me is like really
like depending on the crime too. It's like I mean those things are not really that easy to like because some 15-year-olds can like plan shit out and like to kill somebody, right?
I forget their names, but there was an article where within the same month a black guy got charged for rape and was sent to jail for like 10-15 years. 2 white guys were charged for rape and they raped multiple people. When the black guy only raped one, they were sent to jail for 8 months.
Hey, it's like
so like to me that's just
And what I was gonna say is that
I forget the name, but I remember that article because I remember sitting there and seeing those 2 white guys' faces, and you could tell they were piece of shits by their faces, and they're like sitting there like really. And
what I was gonna say is like it depends on the context because some 15-year-olds can plan shit out and actually plan to kill somebody, and other ones can like do it by accident.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an argument, should you try the one that should plan it out as an adult? And the other one should not try them as an adult, So there's some, it's complicated, but also inconsistencies in it, So it's like, it's not really like a black and white thing.
If it was me and I was 15 years old and I was kidnapped, I know my ass would be out of there.
It depends how you're kidnapped, because she was saying that she wasn't even tied up. Put her in the house. I don't know if it was just like joking about that. Or that really what happened? They put her in the house and just left. Like, I'll be out this bitch in like 5 minutes. Especially how houses are made here. It's not made like with cement.
Especially if you're that close to your house, you obviously know the neighborhood. Exactly. You had to be there at least once in that neighborhood. So.
I know, but guys, Dave Chappelle, he's funny. We gotta do more of Dave Chappelle. We're gonna be doing more of comedians.
Yeah, different types of comedians. So, obviously, we're going to be listening to your recommendations.
Yeah, keep the recommendations coming because we write them down and we'll get to them eventually. But,
we got a lot on our list. We want to do some comedians.
And then we're busy. We got day jobs, and we got other stuff to do. So we don't have the time to do it.
Obviously, we have lives.
So we do what we can. So if you have
definitely more comedians, definitely more Family Guy, definitely more Jordan Peterson. And as we see movie trailers that we like, we will review them.
We'll be doing a lot more.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Comment.
What do you think about Dave Chappelle? What do you think about 15?
Tell us in the comments. Tell us how old. What do you think? How old is 15 really?
Yeah, in your opinion.
In my opinion. Alright, guys, like,
comment,
subscribe.
See ya.